Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of learning one page a day of Bartok Solo VIolin Sonata. We're on to page 4 now, or day 4, page 4. Let's go. Now in page 3, I mentioned that it feels like we're in the development section of a traditional sonata form. And page 4 is just a continuation of page 3, and I was trying to start from bar 75, which is the last line of page 3. So this interval here is also just a continuation of bar 74 and 75. The way to practice is pretty simple. Just follow the top note. This is how I think about it. And the bottom note is always very close to the top note. It's a 6 where two fingers are very close and the interval stays the same the whole time. F double sharp is a G natural. I think by now you would be pretty good at enharmonic notes. Try to think of the other name of the note, then it will help you understand where the notes are a little bit better. F double sharp is a G natural. D sharp is an E flat. They're close. B sharp is a C natural. I think of it as a C natural, and also first finger is an E. And then we're back to, and this section here, it feels like a conversation between the top voice and the bottom voice. To illustrate the point, this is bar 74. And comes the bottom voice, answering the top voice. And then the top voice again, answer back. And then the bottom voice answer. And then the top voice come back. Bottom voice. And this back and forth is a very cool effect that Bach uses in a lot of his polyphonic works. And I think Bartok, even if he's not directly quoting Bach, but Bach's music is very influential, especially for all the composers that came after. And Bach was the master of like polyphony. And I think here he's trying to imitate Bach's fugues, where there's different conversation happening in different voices, such as where there's a lot of different voices conversing with each other. Now in bar 79, line 2 of page 4, these interval, it seems difficult, but it's actually a fourth, or I believe is what they call tritone. I never really understood why it's called tritone, but I think it's a fourth because it's 4 notes apart. And this interval stays the same just as the 6. And if you can get used to playing this interval and just hold it in different positions, it will be much easier to play in tune. And I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just thinking of one note and I pick the top note to focus on and just add in the bottom note. And this interval creates this very mystical feeling, almost like oriental feeling. This section, actually this page is one of my favorite pages to play. It just sounds so cool. He's just developing the ideas from before, and it gets crazier and crazier. And I believe in bar 79 there's a misprint of the rhythm. We are in 3/4 bar, that means there's 6/8 notes, and if you add everything up, the misprint here, there's no way that can be a syncopation because the rhythm does not add up. And following in bar 81 is the same tritone or fourth. Now, line 3 of page 4 is basically what we have from before, but the conversation between the top voice and the bottom voice become busier, and it just gets shorter and shorter. It gets more and more chaotic. But the interval is still the same. It's a fourth, bottom voice, top voice, bottom voice, top voice, bottom. And in bar 84, the interval changes. Is no longer this kind of fourth. It sounds more diminished, I believe. And for rhythm in bar 82 and 83, the bottom voice looks like it's triplets, but it's not. The time signature is 4/4. That means there will be 16 notes. So if you count all the 16 notes out, then it's not triplets, the bottom notes. These are all normal 16 notes. Moving on to bar 84, if you're not good at finding those tricky intervals, you can just pick the Aussier where you only play open string. But personally, I really like how the original version sounds, which is the one below. And yes, the notes are kind of hard to find. But if you work it out slowly, they're actually not that bad. So for example, C sharp, A sharp, I think of it as D flat, B flat. It's much easier in my mind because I'm more familiar with third position, so I just think B natural, D natural, and then half step down, I get B flat, D flat. Now F sharp is just a G flat, so my first finger go to D string straight, it's a fifth. So this is easy. And then the next one, I stay in the same position. This one, I think of it as E flat, C natural, because D sharp is E flat, B sharp is C natural, and this is exactly in third position. Now, if pinky here is a C natural, then the E natural is right below it as a 6. And the next interval, E sharp, I think of it as an F natural, and C double sharp is just an D natural, and you can play it as a harmonic. Now, the bottom note, the next note is an E flat. It's not hard to find because E sharp, which is an F natural, a fifth down is a B flat, B flat a fifth down is an E flat. So after you play this chord, you can just go straight to G string and then stay in the same position. The next interval is F sharp, D sharp, which is exactly half step higher than the previous double stop. And then open D string is easy. And then E natural, C sharp is just fourth position, easy. And half step down, both fingers. So this is bar 84. Until bar 85. The first quarter note beat is not that hard. until this A natural C sharp is still manageable. And right above C sharp is a G natural on D string. So A natural, G natural. And for D sharp, B natural, I stay in second position. I play D sharp as E flat, and B natural, I just think B natural. And this F natural, I have to stretch back. It's a fourth. And the following double stop, I go actually to first position, A string, E string is much easier to find. Staying on D, A string, D string, that interval is very hard to find. I don't want to risk it. So I go to A string, E string, C sharp, E sharp is the same as D flat, and F natural. And E natural is just a second finger on D string, half position. And then the next interval is easy, D natural, F sharp. So this whole line of bar 84 original version. Now moving on to bar 87, this arpeggio weaving pesante section has such a cool tonality. I really like how it sounds here. It's almost like all the chaos from before is like unraveling right here. It's really cool effect that he created. I try my best to stay in first position because it's much easier to think about for myself. And then following that in bar 91 is what I believe the recap of this movement. In traditional sonata form, there is always three sections. We have the exposition as the beginning, and it's usually presented with two musical themes that's opposing each other. In this case, we have the first musical idea of I would consider this theme 1, and then in the middle we have this where it doesn't really feel like anything. So I think this is what they call the transition or bridge leading to theme 2, which is this triplet section. And I think this is theme 2. And this theme 1 and theme 2 makes up the exposition. And in bar 53, I think is what they call the development. Development section is basically where the composer would take his musical ideas and just flex his composition skills, like all the crazy things, whatever they want to do, key changes or any new ideas using the musical themes he presented, he will try to transform it into very interesting things. I think up until bar 90 is what would be considered development section in a normal sonata. So that means bar 91 is actually what they call recapitulation, where we recap on the exposition. And I think this is correct because at the beginning we have a G minor chord. And here, this is also a G minor chord, but just different voicing. So this is page 4 in action. So there you go. This is day 4, page 4 of learning Bartok Solo Violin Sonata first movement. See you tomorrow for page 5.